How to find joy in repetitions. Repetitions are typically considered monotonous and uninteresting. Repetition is a vital technique in education since it allows students to cement in knowledge. Repetition is an essential part of the learning process, whether you're studying a foreign language or honing your musical skills. Finding pleasure in routine might be difficult. In this episode, I will discuss why repetition is so important for learning, as well as several methods for finding pleasure in such activities. Learning is greatly aided by repetition since it serves to solidify newly acquired information and abilities. The brain's neural pathways are strengthened via repetition, making it simpler to recall previously learned material. When we do something repeatedly, we improve at it and it eventually becomes second nature. When we master a new skill like riding a bike, we practice it over and over again until it becomes automatic. Mastering a new skill or idea can be difficult without regular practice. Repetition allows for introspection and growth. Repetition of an activity allows us to evaluate how well we did and where we could use some work. This feedback loop is crucial to maturation and progress. When we videotape ourselves playing an instrument, for instance, we may go back and figure out where we went wrong. We can get better at something by doing it over and over and figuring out what works each time. But then, how do we find joy in our repetitions? Setting targets you can actually reach is one strategy. We may track our progress and revel in our successes by dividing a large undertaking into manageable chunks. If we're trying to learn a new language, for instance, we can resolve to increase our vocabulary by 5 words per day. Keeping ourselves motivated and enjoying the journey can be done by accomplishing these little objectives. Altering the pattern of repetition is another tactic. Repeating the same motions again and over can lose its excitement. We can make the task more interesting and pleasurable by altering the repetition. We can change up the repetition by playing different songs or working on different approaches when we're learning to play an instrument, for instance. Changing things up like this can help keep work from getting boring. Making routine tasks into group outings can bring unexpected pleasure. The social benefits of learning alongside others are well documented. If we want to learn a new language, for instance, we can find a language partner or participate in a language exchange. Learning from one another and having fun while doing it are two of the main benefits of group practice. Let's use an example to bring this point home. Acquiring a second or third language. The process of learning a new language involves a significant amount of repetition, particularly when it comes to acquiring a command of the language's grammar and vocabulary. When we are learning a new verb tense, for instance, we might need to practice using it over and over again until we are able to use it correctly without having to think about it. This pattern of repetition has the potential to be hard as well as tedious, particularly when there is no obvious sign of improvement. When we practice the same words and phrases over and over again, but don't feel like we're making any major improvement as a result, it can be demotivating. Furthermore, when we begin to feel bored or frustrated, it might be difficult to find the drive to continue doing what we are doing. Mastering a new language, however, requires finding pleasure in practice. Keeping ourselves motivated and interested requires making routine tasks fun and exciting. Learning objectives can be broken down into more manageable chunks, such committing to memorizing 5 new words per day. Watching videos, listening to podcasts, or practicing with a language exchange partner are all great ways to mix up our learning routine. We can also have cause for celebration by keeping tabs on our successes and acknowledging the ways in which we've grown. Although drill and practice might be tedious, taking pleasure in the process is crucial to meeting our learning objectives.